The war genre faces a great challenge. How do you depict the brutality of war in a medium that most expect to see satisfying stories in? A war film has to be from the perspective of those who lived through those moments. In that way, great war movies are biased, not against any specific group of people, but instead against the act of violence. Dunkirk and Come and See are two films that perfectly encapsulate what a war film should be. Despite being films with different characters, setting, and narrative structures, both films end up telling the same story. Both films come from directors that were raised in their respective Western and Eastern fronts of Europe represented in the films. Come and See's director, Elem Klimov, was alive during World War II and had to evacuate his home as a child during the Battle of Stalingrad, and this served as an inspiration for the film. Christopher Nolan was born in Britain long after the war, so did not have a childhood scarred by war, but Dunkirk proves that he still understands the reality of World War II. The two different perspectives the films end up showing the audience are a result of the staggeringly different fights happening on the two fronts of the European conflict. Dunkirk being from the British perspective of the Dunkirk evacuation, and Come and See showing the Belarusian freedom fighters' perspective during the Nazi invasion of Belarus. The two films are united by the antagonizing force of the Nazi regime, but victory of the war meant very different things to the men fighting. Both endings show a different reflection on the European conflict, with Dunkirk illustrating that the only victory of war is survival, and Come and See shows the audience what cannot be regained in a victory in war. This is the two films' different ways of conveying an anti-war message. Both films are closely connected in showing the nature of war and its toll on the human spirit, and that the life lived before war can never be lived again. Nolan uses the perspectives of the British soldiers stranded on the beach of Dunkirk, British Air Force pilots, and a civilian boat, part of the rescue effort, to show the different effects of war and the actions chosen by these men. The soldiers struggle as the enemy grows closer. The Air Force is far from their target and are met with opposing forces dwindling their numbers. The civilian ship takes up a noble cause, but soon face the harsh realities of war sooner than expected as they rescue a soldier after his ship sinks.
What is it you think you can do with that, on this thing?
All these stories start at different times, but as the film goes on, their timelines begin to converge. This is done in a masterful way to show how different perspectives are unified in this collective moment. These perspectives are also unified in the common antagonizing force of time, and how the Nazis steal it. Time stuck on the beach, fuel left in the plane, the memories that end up haunting the boat. The strength of these men is continuously challenged by the unending assault on their time. Come and See handles perspective in a different way, as it focuses on one teenage soldier to tell the story of a nation's struggle against fascism. Many people walk in and out of the boy's life as the story progresses, and he uncovers the harsh truth of war. He is eager to join the war effort, but experiences alienation when he is ordered to stand guard of the camp instead of marching into battle. He cries because he doesn't get to be the hero he imagined. He meets a girl who is crying for her own reasons, and they both end up attacking one another as they don't understand one another.
Я же есть. Существую.
The alienation of the boy is made worse when the war finds its way to him. War descends on him and separates him and the girl from the world. He unites with other soldiers, but they all eventually are lost to the war. He's connected to all these strangers by their shared trauma. They are not unified in love or heroism, but by grief and hatred. Come and See and Dunkirk both use perspective in the war genre to show the experiences of people that can't be simply put into a textbook. It shows the audience what the Nazis were through their disregard of their own humanity. Dunkirk refrains from showing Nazi soldiers, only ever showing their silhouettes. Come and See also refrains from showing the human faces of Nazis until the end, when they burn down a village as if it was part of the routine. Both films show that the Nazis reveal the true nature of war as an uncaring and unfeeling force of destruction. Dunkirk and Come and See are telling of how no amount of violence will ever be enough. In Dunkirk, violence does not bring about victory, but the escape from violence is how people win.
Well done.
All we did is survive.
That's enough.
When the freedom fighters the boy had thought were long gone attacked the Nazis, the few remaining villagers and soldiers confront the Nazi leadership and eventually gun them down. This killing is unsatisfying because it is not truly what these people want. The British soldiers return home to be met with uncertain stares as the soldiers and the citizens question the validity of this victory.
Where the hell were you?
They are surprised when they are met with cheers. They now have to live in a world of uncertainty, as some people will never see the victory they achieved.
Our thankfulness at the escape of our army must not blind us.
The true desires of these people is not to kill the Nazis and win a war. It is to return home. The boy shoots a painting of Adolf Hitler in a moment of futility, imagining as if time was reversing. What the war genre tells us is that what these people truly wish for is to turn back the clock so everything could be as it once was.